Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. So if you have followed this channel for any number of years, you know that on or around the anniversary of the game, which was about a week or so ago now, I like to do a video where I open all of the gold crystals and battle chips that I have saved up, or hoarded if you prefer that word, throughout the course of the entire year. Now, longtime players will probably recall that many years ago, Kabam used to do like a 20% boost to all gold earned in the game for like a week or two in December. And that's kind of when I started doing this, saving up all my crystals, because back then, truthfully, it made sense to do so. But a few years ago, they actually made this 20% gold boost permanent, probably in large part to discourage behavior like this, right? And even when we had that big crystal opening realm event earlier this year, I decided to, open everything but my gold crystals because, frankly, I really like doing this. I really like seeing how much gold we can earn at once, and every year I try and outdo my total from the previous year. And as a bonus, today as I'm recording this, it is December 21st. The banquet event started yesterday, which means that when we open all of these battle chips, we get a bunch of units from them as well. And we're going to make use of those quite quickly here, opening those superior banquet crystals. All right, before we jump into the opening itself, I do want to briefly cover my starting point so that both you and I can see exactly how much gold I've earned between now and the end of the video. So if we take a look here, I'm sitting at just over 200 million gold currently. This is by far the most amount of gold I have ever had on my account. My gold problems are gone forever. I don't think it'll ever be an issue for me for as long as I play this game. Hit 200 million, I want to say like in the May or June, maybe July time frame. And kind of since then, I've been hovering between like 180 and 200, depending on how many rank ups I'm doing at any given time. And last year, I remember in particular, around July 4th, I did a ton of rank ups after the July 4th offers, and I really struggled to kind of recover from that gold usage until the end of the year when I did my gold opening then. However, this year, more so than in any other year, I really feel like the amount of gold that we're getting just from playing the game is really, really high. And, I forget what I started at last year, but I feel like my gold total was pretty much steadily increasing throughout the entirety of 2024, despite doing all the rank ups that I need for War, for Battlegrounds, etc., etc. So we'll see how much we end up with today. Whatever we earn, it's going to be, another new best in terms of gold total. Now, when it comes to battle chips, we are sitting at 7 million. I don't know that this is the most battle chips I've ever had at once. So this year, I didn't do many featured 6-star grinds because, for the level I play at, 6 stars aren't really that useful to me anymore. And so I don't really feel the need to go out and grind for 3 days to get them. However, this year I did make a concerted effort to grind milestones in the arena, specifically in the 6-star basic and 6-star featured arena. It's only like a couple hours every few days. I can do it while I'm watching TV. It really takes no active investment in the game. I can kind of do it while zoned out on the game. So that's kind of paid off here. 7 million battle chips is going to give us a really nice amount of those superior arena crystals. Last thing I want to say before we get into the opening is that I actually have fewer gold crystals to open than last year by like 1,000 almost. And I think they've probably just decreased the gold crystal availability as they've kind of increased gold availability in other parts of the game. So we have fewer gold crystals. We actually have a lot more battle chips, as I mentioned. So I'm curious to see, how that will balance out. Will we still be able to earn over 91 million and eclipse last year's total? And truthfully, I talked about the tier 4 CC crystals. If we are close to 91 million, I will probably be pretty inclined to go ahead and open those just so we can say that we beat last year's total. All right, kicking things off today, we have 1,308 of these golden crystals. Now, there used to be something called a greater golden crystal, but I think it's been retired because we haven't seen one in a few years now. Kind of wish I had saved one just to have it, but, either way. As usual, I will edit out all of the actual opening part. There's no way I'm going to ask you to sit through opening, thousands of these gold crystals. So for you, we'll just jump right ahead to the ending total. All right, so I already zoned out in the middle of the first batch of crystals, got to the end, accidentally hit the back to crystals button. I had to stop the recording, go into the recording, and then screenshot it right before I hit the button to see the final total. So we've got the total here. 5.4 million gold out of those 1,300 crystals. That is actually more gold than we earned from this type of crystal last year, but last year we had about 300+ plus more crystals in this. So we are like way above average so far for this crystal. So moving on, we're going to go to these uncollected golden crystals. Let's go ahead and open these. All right, so I kept telling myself to slow down when I got near the end of this group so they didn't accidentally back out again. Mission accomplished. So just under 2,000 crystals, we earned 46.9 million gold. And again, this is more gold than we earned from the same type of crystal than we did last year, despite having almost 400 fewer crystals than we did last year. Last year we had 2,300 and we earned 45.6. This year only 1,900 and 46.9 million. So I'm wondering if perhaps they adjusted the drop rates for like the medium and high drops in this crystal. And these drop rates are not visible to us in this particular crystal. But either way, we are way ahead of pace, and let's move on. All right, so the last thing that we have in the gold crystal department are these no foolin pools gold crystals. And these are special because they also have a chance to drop a 5 or 6 star gold pool. Now I did get the 5-star gold pool last year, but getting the 6-star gold pool would be awesome. I don't have him. I don't have any other way of getting him here. And as you can see, he is an incredibly rare drop, almost as rare as getting like Punisher or Immortal Iron Fist. So if we can cop a 6-star gold pool out of these 400 crystals today, I would be incredibly happy. So let's get to it. Let's go! Let's go! 6-star gold pool! Yes! Oh, that's so cool. One of the rarest champs in the game. Not particularly useful, but as a champion collector, I am thrilled to finally have him. As you can see, we pulled another dupe on the 5-star gold pool a couple rounds ago. 6-star gold pool, that is awesome. What an absolute success this opening has been already. I'm so happy. Let's finish these up. I want you guys to see every time I open 10 of these, the icon for the 6-star gold pool flashes. Check this out. Ready? Pew. Pew. All right, there we go. 399 of the no foolin pools gold crystals. We managed to get a 6-star gold pool, which I am over the moon about. Huge win. And as has been the trend today, we earned more gold than we did last year on fewer crystals. So 9.3 million on just under 400 crystals. Last year we only got 8.6 million off of nearly 450. So again, I'm wondering if the drop rates on these crystals have been adjusted just to increase the amount of total gold coming to players throughout the year. So, maybe I'll check with the team on that one. All right, I cashed in over 7 million battle chips. We have 141 of these Thronebreaker Arena crystals, about 50% more than we opened last year. A lot of gold in these crystals, but a lot of units as well. Really, really excited to see what our unit total is from opening all of these. However, the grand prize from here is probably the rarest champ in MCOC, and that is a 6-star Punisher, who is only available in this specific crystal. And on top of that, his drop rate is also like half of what the gold pool, the 6-star gold pool drop rate was. And he is sometimes made available in like featured Paragon, featured Valiant crystals throughout the year, but it's super rare. And getting him is very challenging. So if you get lucky and you get him, congratulations. I don't have him. I'm a champion collector. I really do want him. So no matter what happens in these 141 crystals, if we can somehow come away with a 6-star Punisher, I will be absolutely thrilled. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, unfortunately, another year goes by without me having a 6-star Punisher on my account. A little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. 30 energy refills in this group of crystals. Honestly, would have just rather had the units than those. Speaking of units, we vastly underperformed compared to last year. 8,250 is a lot of units, don't get me wrong, but it is also the exact same number of units that we got last year from only 90 crystals. So we really underperformed when it came to unit drops this year. We did probably overperform, it's hard to say, doing the math in my head here. 18 million gold out of 140 crystals. Last year, again, we had 12 million and change from 90. So a lot of gold. Wish we had gotten more units, but that being said, we are still sitting well above 30,000 units in total, and we have more than enough to meet all of the necessary milestones for the banquet event, which is kind of the goal in doing all of this. So I'm going to add up my totals here, and I will either finish up the video or we'll move on to selling some of those tier 4 class catalyst crystals. All right, so I went ahead and decided to open 700 of my nearly 800 tier 4 class catalyst crystals. I've been sitting with these in the overflow for a few weeks now, so I feel pretty comfortable saying that I'm probably not going to ever need this many tier 4 class catalyst crystals ever again. As you can see, we ended up with a good decent spread here, well over 100 of each type. So I'm going to go ahead and sell these, and then I'll be back to look at my total gold for 2024. All right, everything is done. All catalysts are sold. All crystals are opened. Let's take a look at our total haul for 2024. We netted almost 100 million gold this year, and it took some work, but we did manage to beat last year's total, so that was a huge win. Almost 300 million gold on my account now, which is just a disgusting amount. Still not even close to some of the amounts of golds that like the huge spenders and the really big accounts in this game have. So I'm happy with my 296 million. I won't ever have to worry about gold in this game again. We also came away with a 6-star gold pool, which is a huge win. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you decided to do the same thing as me this year. I know a bunch of folks who watched the video last year decided to hoard their gold crystals as well. So let me know if you did the same. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.